Do you think he really got liposuction to lose weight?
On some G shit though, I really feel like y'all playing with me because I really been saying fuck this shit. We can't go to the next question.
All right, we can move on. I just like, you had some funny bars in the whole thing that I just kind of wonder if it was serious or not.
Shit back up.
Nah.
I ain't on that.
Nah, we Moneybagg too.
Talking about that.
Yo, what's up everyone? Your host is here again with another major breakdown, and today we're digging deep into some deadly Memphis street politics. Seriously, this is no joke. We're discussing how Pooh Shiesty just reignited a seemingly dormant feud between his closest friend, Big 30, and Moneybagg Yo, on his new song, F.I. Shiesty dropped a verse that instantly sparked citywide conversation. I heard street dudes getting tummy tucks. Told you, these rappers lame. If you are familiar with Memphis's internal dynamics, you know exactly who that comment targeted. This rivalry is on the verge of turning genuinely lethal. No kidding. Let me walk you through the entire sequence of events. From Big 30's initial bond with Moneybagg to their friendship transforming into intense hostility. And now, how Pooh Shiesty has triggered an explosive situation. This is much more than just a rap conflict now, folks. It's an actual street war being veiled as music. To grasp how we arrived at this point, we need to return to the beginning. When Big 30 was merely another young hustler from South Memphis trying to escape his tough environment, Big 30, whose birth name is Rodney Wright, grew up in the KSBG area on the south side. Right from the jump, this guy possessed a unique edge. He faced multiple school expulsions for disruptive conduct, even before high school, and eventually was sent to an alternative education program, but that option didn't offer much help either. The lure of the streets was strong, and Big 30 answered that call early on. He connected with his childhood buddy Pooh Shiesty, and together, they established Choppa Gang alongside their friends Lil Hank and Choppa crew member. These were not your typical teens. They were causing chaos in South Memphis and developing a reputation as one of the most feared crews locally. Big 30's own alias is a nod to his preferred weapon, and he swiftly climbed the ranks to become one of the most respected enforcers in the city. But this is where the narrative becomes intriguing, as family connections enter the picture. Big 30's cousin was a figure known as Big Nusky, and Nusky was already active in the streets, holding connections throughout Memphis. Nusky served as the crucial link connecting Big 30 to Moneybagg Yo's circle. When Moneybagg Yo was building his Bread Gang label, he sought out authentic street talent. Not industry creations or fabricated tough guys, but genuine hustlers who could contribute raw power to his music. Through Nusky, Moneybagg was introduced to Big 30, and the rapport was instant. Moneybagg recognized something special in Big 30. This wasn't just another aspiring artist. This was a proven street veteran who actually had lyrical skills. Big 30 offered the perfect blend of street credibility and artistic ability that Moneybagg required for his record label. Furthermore, having Big 30 and Nusky on his roster gave Moneybagg some serious influence in Memphis, which was vital for someone navigating perilous street politics. The signing was mutually beneficial. Big 30 gained the platform and necessary resources to elevate his music career, while Moneybagg secured two certified hustlers who could handle themselves in any confrontation. It appeared to be a flawless partnership, and for a period, it was. When Big 30 first signed with Bread Gang via CMG, everything was harmonious. Moneybagg treated him like kin, not just another musician on the label. They were creating music together, performing on stages, and building something unique in the Memphis hip-hop scene. Big 30 was relentlessly working, releasing songs that garnered millions of views, and cultivating his own audience while representing Bread. His association with Pooh Shiesty was also yielding success, as Shiesty was simultaneously constructing his own empire with Gucci Mane's 1017 imprint. Choppa Gang was truly making strides, with both Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty achieving significant industry recognition. During this time, Big 30 was featured on some of Moneybagg's biggest tracks, and Moneybagg supported Big 30's solo efforts. They shared genuine creative synergy in the studio, and their collaborations resonated differently because their bond was authentic. Yet even during the good times, there were indications that things weren't completely perfect. Big 30 remained deeply connected to the streets, and his allegiance was consistently split between his musical pursuits and his non-music obligations. This would eventually become a significant source of friction. Everything shifted on January 28, 2022, when Big Nusky was tragically shot and killed in the Whitehaven area of Memphis. This was not merely a random violent act. Nusky's demise was tied to serious street issues that would ultimately tear apart the Bread Gang network. According to Big 30, Nusky had been performing tasks for Moneybagg Yo, managing street affairs that Moneybagg couldn't handle personally. Big 30 asserted that Moneybagg was being extorted by certain individuals in Memphis, Consequently, he signed Big 30 and Nusky to serve as his protection and shield him from the pressure he was experiencing. On the night Nusky passed away, he had just attended Big 30's performance at a local school. He was showing love and support to his relative, as family ought to do. But only a couple of hours after departing that event, Nusky was discovered dead, having been shot multiple times in the same neighborhood where he grew up. What made this scenario even more distressing for Big 30 was Moneybagg's response. Or rather, the lack of one. As per Big 30, Moneybagg posted a few broken heart emojis on social media, expressing his sorrow over Nusky's death. But when the time came for the funeral, Moneybagg was absent. This was a grave offense in Big 30's estimation. In street culture, attending someone's funeral is one of the most fundamental displays of respect. If you claim to care about someone, if you claim they were family, you show up when they are being buried. Moneybagg's failure to appear spoke volumes to Big 30 about where his true priorities lay. Following Nusky's passing, the connection between Big 30 and Moneybagg began to worsen rapidly. Big 30 felt that Moneybagg had exploited him and his cousin for security. But when it came time to demonstrate real commitment, Moneybagg was nowhere to be found. The professional aspect of their relationship was also becoming troublesome.
And tell me if I'm wrong, it seemed like it was a personal reason why you took a break.
I was going through something. I had to get my mind right. I had lost a close friend, really.
Yeah. How much did that, like, I mean, obviously it weighed on you a lot. That's why you took the break from music. But was it just confusing for you? Like, you just couldn't believe it happened?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
Big 30 felt like he wasn't receiving the necessary backing from Bread Gang and began looking into alternatives. According to Moneybagg, Big 30 was attempting to make secret deals, trying to secure contracts with rival labels without following the proper procedures. This is where the situation becomes truly complicated because both parties have differing accounts of the events. Moneybagg claims that Big 30 was being untrustworthy and trying to deceive him, while Big 30 claims that Moneybagg was holding back his career and not honoring their agreement. The tension finally reached its peak when Big 30 dropped a song titled How Could You, in which he voiced all his complaints against Money. This was more than just a diss track. This was Big 30 exposing what he viewed as Moneybagg's inauthentic character and detailing the collapse of their association. When Big 30 released How Could You, he held nothing back. He criticized Moneybagg for skipping Nusky's funeral, accused him of using them for protection, and essentially depicted Moneybagg as a fake street figure who talks tough but doesn't follow through. Big 30 rapped about how Moneybagg signed him and Nusky because he needed muscle, not because he believed in their art. He alleged that Moneybagg was being pressured by actual street figures and required proven enforcers to safeguard him. Moneybagg couldn't let that attack stand, so he replied with Airball, and this song was brutal. Moneybagg labeled Big 30 a betrayer who was attempting to negotiate deals behind his back. He claimed that Big 30 was exaggerating everything and that he had actually assisted Big 30 more than Big 30 cared to acknowledge. In Airball, Moneybagg also addressed the Nusky incident, but from his vantage point, he claimed he was also saddened by Nusky's death, but that Big 30 and Nusky had gotten involved in a conflict that wasn't even theirs, pursuing fame instead of handling legitimate business. The most damaging part of Moneybagg's response was his demand for Big 30 to return his Bread Gang chain, stating that Big 30 lacked the integrity to represent the brand any longer. Big 30 wasn't about to let Moneybagg have the final say, so he took to social media to reveal even more specifics about their relationship. He posted a sequence of messages that characterized Moneybagg as an inauthentic hustler who required security from genuine street figures. According to Big 30, Moneybagg was being extorted by some Memphis individuals. Consequently, he began signing rappers from Big 30's neighborhood to have security around him. Big 30 claimed that Moneybagg wasn't truly about that life and that his tough image was purely for show. Big 30 also addressed the jewelry issue, asserting that the only item Moneybagg ever gave him was a cheap necklace and that he had already reimbursed Moneybagg for it. He claimed that he had been earning money since he was 18 and never required Moneybagg's financial help. One of the most insulting things Big 30 said was that Moneybagg was only pretending to be upset about Nusky's death online, posting broken heart emojis and acting devastated, but then failing to even attend the memorial service. Big 30 stated, "We brought life to that Bread Gang, made the city respect you. My homie's gone over that lame Bread Gang and you ain't even come to his service." One of the most debated aspects of this rivalry was Big 30's claims about Moneybagg undergoing cosmetic procedures. In his diss track, Big 30 rapped, "Claim a time you see me without a Glock in the 223, or name a time you see me without a Glock or a DRC, I work out and go lose weight. Ain't no way in hell I'm paying a doctor to redo my face." This was an unambiguous jab at rumors that Moneybagg had received plastic surgery, including liposuction and other procedures to enhance his looks. In hip-hop culture, particularly in street rap, getting plastic surgery is often viewed as soft and unmanly. Big 30 was essentially accusing Moneybagg of being a fake pretty boy, who cared more about his appearance than his credibility on the streets. Moneybagg addressed these claims in his own response track, saying, "I'm calling this stuff how I see it. What makes you think I'll play with my skin?" Surgery where out-of-shape ass people don't even know nothing about the gym. But the damage was already done. The plastic surgery allegations became a major topic of discussion in Memphis, and people began to question Moneybag's authenticity.
You think he really got liposuction to lose weight?
On some G shit though, I really feel like y'all playing with me because I really been saying fuck this shit. We can't go to the next question.
All right, we can move on. I just like, you had some funny bars in the whole thing that I just kind of wonder if it was serious or not.
Shit back up.
Nah.
I ain't on that.
Nah, we with Moneybagg too.
Talking about that.
While all this conflict was developing between Big 30 and Moneybagg, Pooh Shiesty was incarcerated in federal prison, managing his own legal struggles. Shiesty had been detained in connection with a shooting and robbery incident in Florida and was facing a lengthy sentence. Despite Shiesty being behind bars, his loyalty to Big 30 never diminished. These two had been best friends since their youth, founding members of Choppa Gang, and their bond was unbreakable. When the feud between Big 30 and Moneybagg began to escalate, there was never any doubt about which side Shiesty would support. What made this situation noteworthy was that Pooh Shiesty had actually collaborated with Moneybagg Yo on several songs prior to the conflict starting. They had a professional relationship and mutual respect in the recording studio. But when forced to choose between business ties and lifelong allegiance, Shiesty chose his friend without hesitation. From prison, Shiesty was receiving updates on the scenario and supporting Big 30 in any way he could. He couldn't physically be present for the rivalry, but his influence and reputation were still felt across Memphis. Everyone knew that once Shiesty was released, he would fully stand by Big 30. After months of back-and-forth insults and social media theatrics, it appeared as though Big 30 and Moneybagg had decided to end their beef. Both parties ceased releasing diss tracks. The social media posts subsided, and people began to believe that perhaps they had settled their differences privately. There were rumors that some respected older figures in Memphis had intervened to mediate the situation and convince both sides to focus on their careers instead of ruining each other. Given that both Big 30 and Moneybagg possessed legitimate careers and fan bases, it seemed logical for them to move past the drama. For a period, the truce seemed stable. Big 30 continued working on his music, and Moneybagg kept expanding his brand. The Memphis hip-hop scene appeared to be progressing without the corrosive energy of their rivalry. But anyone who truly understood the situation knew that this peace was tenuous. Too much had been said, too many boundaries had been crossed, and too much hurt had been inflicted for things to simply revert to normal. The beef might have been inactive, but it was not over. When Pooh Shiesty was finally released from federal prison, the entire Memphis hip-hop community was waiting to see his next move. Everyone recognized that Shiesty was one of the most talented and intimidating rappers in the city, and his return was going to shift the balance of power. Shiesty immediately returned to music, and his first track after his release was FTO, or First Day Out. This was supposed to be a celebration of his freedom and a statement that he was back in the game. But Shiesty had other intentions. In FTO, Shiesty dropped a line that instantly grabbed everyone's attention. "I heard street dudes getting tummy tucks told you these rappers lame." To anyone familiar with the Big 30 and Moneybagg beef, this was an unmistakable attack on Moneybagg, referencing the plastic surgery claims Big 30 had made. This wasn't some subtle implication either. This was direct disrespect that immediately revived all the old tensions. Shiesty was essentially signaling that he hadn't forgotten the conflict and that Moneybagg's supposed peace agreement with Big 30 did not include him. Pooh Shiesty's diss on FDO is significant for multiple reasons. Firstly, it confirms that the Choppa Gang has neither forgotten nor forgiven what transpired during the beef. Even if Big 30 and Moneybagg agreed to end the public drama, the core issues were never truly resolved. Secondly, Shiesty's return introduces a new element to the situation. While Big 30 is skilled and respected, Pooh Shiesty operates at a different level. He has national recognition, a contract with Gucci Mane's 1017 label, and a reputation as one of the most formidable rappers in the industry. His involvement raises the stakes significantly. Thirdly, the timing of this diss is crucial. Shiesty could have returned home and focused on re-establishing his career, avoiding drama, and making money. Instead, he chose to immediately re-engage in Memphis street politics. This indicates that the issues between Choppa Gang and Bread Gang are far deeper than most people realized. With Pooh Shiesty now back on the streets and clearly uninterested in maintaining the peace, this situation is set to become extremely perilous. We are no longer discussing just a rap battle. We are talking about a genuine street war between two of the most influential crews in Memphis. Moneybagg Yo's Bread Gang has strong connections throughout the city and the resources to handle any situation. But Choppa Gang, led by Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty, is known for being utterly ruthless. These are not rappers simply pretending to be tough. These are authentic street figures who also happen to rap. The plastic surgery diss might seem minor to outsiders, But in street culture, disrespect of this nature demands retaliation. Moneybagg cannot permit Shiesty to return home and instantly disrespect him without consequences. His reputation and personal safety depend on how he manages this conflict. What we are observing is the reignition of one of Memphis hip-hop's most dangerous feuds. And Pooh Shiesty has just poured fuel on a fire that everyone believed was put out. The FDBO diss was not just a lyric, it was a declaration of war that is poised to turn Memphis into a battleground. The tragic irony is that this conflict began over loyalty and respect, the very principles that hip-hop culture purports to celebrate. But now, those same principles are fueling a conflict that threatens to ruin careers and take lives. With Pooh Shiesty back on the streets and plainly not seeking peace, and Moneybagg Yo's reputation hanging in the balance, this scenario is about to reach a deadly conclusion. The streets are watching, and everyone knows that in Memphis, a beef like this doesn't just disappear, gets settled one way or another. Stay tuned everyone, because this story is far from finished. And when the dust settles, Memphis hip-hop might be changed forever.